This phenomenal looking motorcycle you see here is the new BMW R18. It is a brand new motorcycle from BMW, their first proper cruiser in decades. And by new, they've gone new with everything, starting with this enormous, gigantic engine. It's a brand new Boxer, it's 1800cc and it really is gigantic. For example, the R1250 GS, that really big adventure bike, just 1250cc. This, 1802cc. The idea of it is slow revving, insanely low-end torque-driven performance. It's only 91 odd horsepower, which really isn't a lot when you look at the size of the engine. But there is 158 Newton meters of torque available at a very low RPM. I haven't had a chance to ride it. This particular bike is doing the tour of the country. It's reached Mumbai now, which is why we've decided to come and do this video where we actually have the bike with us, and there are so many details for you to take a look at. So if you come in a little closer, I'm going to show you some of the really finer details. Beautiful bejeweled detailing around here. Look at this fuel tank cap, for example. Amazing chrome, everything. There's a lot of chrome on this motorcycle, and one thing that's really unique is this bike uses shaft drive, like the GS's again. But this shaft drive linkage is exposed. So it's literally an exposed shaft drive linkage. You will see it rotating. I think it looks awesome. I have my reservations of what happens when this finds the usual rubbish on Indian streets, chips packets, water bottles. I don't know what's going to happen. It'll be interesting to see. But beyond that, it is a long, low, very well detailed motorcycle. And if you look at the engine, the beauty of this is it's just one monolithic unit. There's no wiring visible, there's nothing. It's just that one unit in there, and that is the essence of the design. The frame is built around it. It's got these really fat forks up front. I do have the key with me, and I'm not allowed to ride it, but I am allowed to start it up, and you should see how this goes. You want to sit on the bike for this. It is 345 kilos, but the advantage of these Boxer engines is that they're really placed down low. So the center of gravity is low and it's easier to manage. In fact, even on the slippery surface, it wasn't too difficult to move the bike around. You have to be careful that it's really long in both directions. And you cannot do the whole Indian cutting through traffic with that engine for sure. Keyless start. We're going to start it. Now watch what happens. There's a massive rumble. It's a brilliant sounding engine, really deep. So that's what happens when you have a crankshaft that goes in that axis, 1800cc. When it starts up, the bike does a big jiggle. When it turns off for the first time I've experienced, the bike actually shakes like that. Very interesting sensation. It shouldn't be too pronounced when you're riding, but when you start it up, when you blip the throttle, you're going to feel the whole bike do that. Very interesting sensation. Now, there is one cause of concern for this motorcycle. It's designed to go up against traditional cruisers from Harley-Davidson, Indian, and that cause of concern is that you can't get your feet forward. Because these cylinder heads stick out so much, your feet are right here. Personally, I don't like the feet forward riding position for India. Our roads are too bumpy, and with your feet all the way forward, you can't raise yourself off the seat and your back has to take the impact. With this, you actually have a little more leverage. You see a pothole, slightly lift off the seat. It's easier on the back, it's less fatiguing. But those of you who want that traditional cruiser position, you'll be able to get a lot of options at the bars. You won't be able to get too much with foot pegs. While I'm sitting on the bike, yes, it's very heavy, but interestingly, BMW internationally gives you the option of an electrically assisted reverse gear. It'll move the bike backwards at about 2 or 3 kph. This bike doesn't have it, and as far as I understand, that will not be an option for Indian customers. So if you're in my position and you need to move the bike around for the camera person, you have to do it yourself. So as gorgeous as this motorcycle already is, BMW wants to offer you a world of customization options. I hear the spec sheet is so huge in terms of accessories, you could literally spend almost the value of the bike in terms of just accessories. We're talking about wheel sizes that go from 16 inches to 21 inches in the front. You can change that around. You can change the handlebar around. You can change seats. You can put a pillion seat on. You can change the engine head covers. You can change the headlamps around. The possibilities are almost limitless. And BMW wants to tell you, you know what? We'll help you customize your bike. You don't need to go to a custom builder for that. I think it's a very unique product, very beautifully styled. Some people are a little divided over the way that the exhaust design looks, but honestly, when you see it in person, it all gels together beautifully. It's built beautifully. There's going to be 2 editions. This is the first edition. You'll see that written on the key right there. Typical BMW key, really smart and advanced looking thing. There's two editions, the first edition and the basic edition. It's basically just design changes, but the top model also does get some features. It's got cornering headlamps. Both bikes have basic electronics. You've got traction control, ABS, and 3 riding modes. BMW's tried to do something different here. They're not calling it road, rain, sport. It's rain, rock, and roll, which is a little fun, but basically they do the same thing. So that's the R18. It's, I think, the BMW I'm most intrigued to ride this year. I think we'll get to ride it soon enough. But for now, that's just a first look for you. And while I'm going to stop talking, we're going to play some nice footage of the bike just for you to take a look at how gorgeous it is.